classroom that we are presenting to you today is a kindergarten classroom with an Enriched Learning Environment foundation. What is an Enriched Learning Environment, you may ask? Well, it's essentially when a learning environment is set up to allow learners the ability to discover learning opportunities on their own. The educators, which can be an early childhood educator or a teacher, are the only supervisors and can only aid the students in the classroom. Classroom setup. The classroom is designed to allow students to improve their essential developmental skills, as well as bursting their creativity and allowing them to explore their imaginations to new heights. Continuing on from the classroom setup, we see that this classroom has some notable design points that allow it to keep up with its fundamental standpoint of being an enriched learning environment for children. The basics of the classroom is to make sure that students' learning is based on play. They are supposed to explore more. However, there is some focus on writing skills and drawing. As you can see in the 3 pictures we have here, that there's different developmental areas for all aspects of the children. So a few desks that there are, however, allow for enhancement of gross motor or fine motor skills. With that being said, each part of the classroom is split into groups that focuses into skills such as the sandbox section, kitchen section, magnet center, and light desk center. The groups are also designed to also release environment stress in children, allowing them to be more comfortable in the classroom. An enriched learning environment makes sure that all students, despite learning or physical disabilities, has the same opportunities that other students can get to learn and explore the classroom. In this classroom, a child that has autism has a modified chair that is placed in the parts in the classroom. So as you look in the pictures, you can see that there's different areas again that allow for children to be the most comfortable in themselves and to have fun in a safe environment.
The role of the educator is to encourage play in all aspects of learning for the child. The educator also makes sure to assist in any difficulties that the child may have in any activities in the classroom. And the educator makes sure to inform and notify the development of the child to the parents, and to make sure that the child is progressing properly with development and adjusting with the classroom. When it comes to groups of students, it's important for the educator to make sure that the child is getting the support that they need with difficulty and confrontations with the classroom and associating classmates, of course. It's also important that the educator plays a role in supervising the entire class, make sure to give instructions with play, and ensuring that the group's desired goals for the student is maintained so students can learn within them.
The role of the child. The role of the child is to explore the learning environment with much imagination as possible, to use the groups to learn and to explore the learning environment. Essentially encouraged to be the leaders of the environment, to the enforcers of their learning journey. The image of the child. Sonia's image of the child talks about how an early childhood education classroom is there to shield the children from the outside world. This can help the child obtain the role in a sense because it allows the child to focus on being a child in the classroom. When you take all the distractions of the outside world from the child, it allows the child, the learner, to be free to play, build their skills, create, and most importantly, feel safe.
Connection to the HDLH document. The HDLH document, or How Does Learning Happen?, says that the 4 foundations of learning are belonging, well-being, engagement, and expression. We can see these integrated into our classroom through rule-making, decoration, and even the class setup. The classroom is set up into groups so that we can better engage the children in learning. It's also set up like someone's house or like home, allowing the children to feel comfortable so that they can further engage in the environment. You are much more engaged in the learning environment that you're comfortable in. And here are some examples. We can also see them interpreted through group time, sharing of experiences, a sense of unity or togetherness, and lots of free play and open mediums. Again, it comes back to this whole group mentality. It's important for the students and educators alike to feel like a family, because this way we can foster a sense of well-being, and then the children will feel comfortable in their own classroom, allowing them to be fully engaged in learning. And here are some examples. We can see these foundations actualized in our classroom through #selfie, some centers with open mediums, our inquiry walls, and a special seat on the carpet or right beside the carpet for a child who cannot sit on the floor. And here are some more examples.
The classroom philosophy. As you may have noticed, this classroom is very inclusive and allows the students to walk in every day feeling like school is home. Well, how, you may ask? Because it caters to different types of learners. So whether your child may be a kinesthetic learner, it allows the students to touch certain objects through, for instance, the sandbox, the light desk, and the magnet desk, to learn language about objects in the common world, and are encouraged to build items or use craft materials to learn. Or for instance, if the child is a visual learner, there are different sections of the classroom, such as the selfie board, the information board, the general decoration of the classroom, which allows students to visually identify information taking place in the classroom. Or if the student is an auditory learner, it allows them to listen to videos and learn through different activities such as role play. The goals of the enriched learning environment. 1. Making sure that every student is an active learner in the enriched environment. 2. Making sure that every student feels welcomed and is thoroughly included into the learning environment, despite learning or physical disabilities. And finally, identify and recognize the talents of all children in enriched learning environments, and encouraging active progression of the learning. Students are entitled to their own learning. It's up to the children, not the adults, on how, when, or what to learn. The child needs to learn and reap their own opportunities in order to be active learners. Once the children are interested in something, you can clearly see this in the classroom, because once the children are interested in something, they are welcome to draw and learn about that specific subject of inquiry. This is amazing because in school, teachers tend to often use a banking model method, where they decide when, how, and what knowledge is taught to the children. Here you can see that the roles have switched, where the children have observed the dragonfly and shown an interest to learn more. So then the teacher finds tools and resources to quench that curiosity and turn it into a learning outcome. All this happens with both interest, freedom, and engagement from both the children and the teacher. Not all children may choose to participate, but that's totally fine because there's no fixed curriculum for the class and everything is malleable and tangible. And that's all depending on each individual children.
So essentially, the article that we decided to choose for the classroom environment of enriched learning is the practitioner involvement and support in children's learning during free play in 2 Norwegian kindergartens. In this article, essentially, what happened was that 2 Norwegian practitioners decided to check out 17 kindergarten teachers and see how interact-based learning or an enriched learning environment based on play had benefits towards the learning of the children. And they did find out that it did have an effect on the improvement of their learning and that it actually did put some benefit on the learning of the children, but as well that the practitioners were able to have the time needed to take care of the fundamental basics that the practitioners needed to complete. So basically this article is essentially proof of how beneficial an enriched learning environment can be for a kindergarten classroom.